Welcome back to another episode of the Many Faces of Cancer podcast. I am your host, Melissa Grosbo, and joining me today is Janna Starshine Jones. And Janna resides in sunny Southern California with her husband, Doug, and 3 grown children, Devin, Alex, and Brooke. She is busy being the CFO for her family-owned auto repair shop for the past 30 years, managing their commercial property and volunteering on the outreach committee for Be Well Therapy, which is yoga for thrivers, as well as on the planning committee for Steps Against Melanoma for AIM. Janna is a survivor of Stage IIb Melanoma skin cancer. Diagnosed in 2022, she had surgery and then 1 year of immunotherapy and is currently thriving. Needing a community to connect with on a cancer level, she sought out Epic Experience. First joining a regional meetup in Dana Point, California, then attending a winter camp in February of 2024. After meeting the Pharaohs who started Camp Experience, and then joining the Epic family of campers, she found herself giving back any chance she could. And when asked to join the board of directors, it was an opportunity she was honored to accept. And we were going to talk about Epic Experience because that's where we met. And in her leisure, Janna enjoys making wine from their family vineyard, crocheting and donating her fiber arts to various organizations, philanthropy of any kind, but mostly cancer focused, yoga in a chair or on the mat, and especially loves adventure trips with her family. So welcome to the show, Janna.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
I am so excited to have you on. So we met about a month ago at a Camp Experience week-long adventure camp. And I'm going to have a bunch of the people on here that I met at that camp. So I'm sorry if you get sick of hearing us talk about it, but it was so life-changing that it was absolutely amazing. So I'm so glad to have you as the first other camper on the show.
Yay. Yeah, I just really can't believe it's almost been a month.
I know. Time just flies. It just absolutely flies. All right, so let's kind of get started. You do a lot. You have a vineyard, you have an auto repair business, you are doing all this you're on the board of directors and all these different things. So you don't like to sit still, do you?
Oh no. I do keep very busy. I need to have lots of things to do. My kids are all grown. They're my oldest is going to be 24 in 2 days, and so he's out of the house. And my middle is 22. He's still here, but he's working his way out. And my youngest, she's in the middle of college and just busy all the time and stuff. So
where does she go to school?
She goes to San Diego Mesa, a community college in San Diego. She's taken fashion design and really doing a great job. And she's actually teaching others how to sew. And she's also making her own garments and selling them. So she's really doing great.
Wow, that's so exciting. I love, our kids' success stories. It's just so heartwarming to hear when, our offspring become successes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You try your best to give them all the tools that they need, and then they do whatever they want. And you're just like, wow, okay.
And they thrive regardless of how crappy our parenting was.
Yeah. Thank goodness.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, Janna, well, let's head back to 2022. What was going on in your life and how were you diagnosed with melanoma?
Yeah, so my husband and I, we had an anniversary, and we went to this day spa, and we were enjoying ourselves in and out of mineral baths and putting mud on our body. And I got home, and I had a mole on my side that had started to bleed. And I thought, oh man, that mud, my skin is so dry. I put a lot of ointment and a Band-Aid, and I didn't think about it. 2 months later, it was still bleeding. So I went to my primary. Yeah. And I'm like, hey, can you look at this? And she's like, oh, wow. And she got me into the dermatologist, and they're like, oh, okay, let's just take that off and we'll just get that biopsied and see what we're dealing with. And I was sitting there looking on the wall at the poster and had all the examples of skin cancer, and melanoma was just exactly like my beauty mark. So I'm like,
Mm.
okay, I know I'm in for something. So yeah, she called me pretty like 2 days later, told me it was melanoma and a surgeon would be calling. So like that was Friday, and then Tuesday of the next week I was talking to the surgeon, and then I was in there getting surgery because it was 3 millimeters deep is what she took, and it was solid melanoma, and it was 1 inch by 1 inch, so that was pretty big.
Wow.
And yeah, so they took it on July 5th, 2022. So my cancerversary is like now. um,
Congratulations.
Thank you. Um, yeah. So surgery, it took it. They took a fist and they took some lymph nodes, and it did not travel. However, it was ulcerated for 2 months, and so they figured it was they would do protocol for stage 3, as if it could have. Some cells could have been rogue throughout my body. So I did immunotherapy every 3 weeks for 1 year.
Okay. So and you were saying before we started recording that chemotherapy is not a protocol for melanoma.
Does not work for melanoma.
Okay. And I'm assuming radiation does not either.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly if radiation works, but I know that immunotherapy was 2015. They allowed it, FDA allowed it, and so it was very new. Not a lot of things were known. Um, not a lot of sustainability. So we knew that it would work. We didn't know how long to give it to me, um, how long it would stay in my system, how I would react, because everybody reacts differently. So it was kind of like we're not sure, but we're just going to go for it because I was young. I have so much life to live, and so far it's been well worth it. I did have a tumor pop up in my thigh last year, actually, and I was in with the surgeon talking about how it's an aggressive tumor and we're going to have a relationship because they're the type that grow back aggressively. And he felt around and couldn't feel it, and he's like, "That's strange. Let's get another CT," and it was gone. And
Wow.
so it's like, well, I guess that Keytruda did its job. So yeah,
So it did its job, and maybe it did its job a little too well.
yeah, yeah.
So tell us a little bit about I guess, the side effects of being on Keytruda for a year.
So I'd like to mention that it does not happen like this for everybody. There were people in the chemo suite that would walk in to get Keytruda and walk out and be like, huh, yep, doesn't affect me at all. And then there was me that was like, I was down for the count for 2 weeks after, like a horrible hangover effect. I would get a migraine within 3 days, and I would be very fatigued and on the ground. It it affected my gastrointestinal tract. Like I couldn't eat as soon as I got some bites in. My system would just go into a horrible, shocking pain, and
Mm.
I went through exploratory. Are there ulcers? Are there something tears in your small intestines and whatnot? And they never found anything. So I think it's more of an inflammation reaction to like my immune system. As soon as food gets into my system, it just thinks, oh no, a foreign substance, let's go attack. And so then I get pain. So I don't eat much to this day. I don't know if
You
I'll
still
ever.
have that issue
Mhm.
today?
Yeah,
Wow. Okay.
I don't know if that'll ever change, but that's okay. I'm getting the nutrients I need.
Okay.
And yeah, it's that caveat to cancer. I
It's the
did,
gift that keeps on giving.
right?
Right.
Yeah, I did lose my thyroid function. I do take medication. I did get another adverse reaction with my skin. I have it took a long time to figure out what was going on because it wasn't a normal reaction to the Keytruda. I would break out into hives, rash, seriously itchy, uncontrollable pain, um, all over my skin, all over my body, in my ears, in my hair. Um, it was heat activated, so if water touched me that was too warm, if I got hot, it would activate. uh, I struggled for a very long time. I used to put lidocaine on my body. I That's the only thing that would like stop it for a while. I would be in ice packs, but they did. There was a saving grace, and there was a group on the East Coast that did adverse reactions from Keytruda, and they did research and found UVB light treatment helps. They do a lot of it for vitiligo. If I'm saying that correctly,
Vitiligo.
vitiligo.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, and eczema. But it slows the production of your skin cells down. So, with the slowing of the skin cells, that helps the reaction from your immune system. So, it's kind of like my immune system would say, there's something wrong with the skin, let's go attack it. And so the rash would come up, and so it would slow the production down. And then I'd take four histamines a day to avoid the allergic reaction. I also take steroids. I've been taking prednisone for 3 years. I'm weaning myself off, but it's one of the other things that are suppressing my immune system, so it doesn't attack my skin. And I wear UV everything outside. I dress like a ninja, not ashamed.
Not at all. You're like, yes, ninja powers, right?
Yep. I see the dark side of the world everywhere I go. I jump from shadow to shadow.
That's why I loved your nickname. So at Camp Experience, we all get nicknames, and your camp name was Starshine. And I just said, because you can't be out in the sun and get the sunshine, you get all of the shining from the stars. And so, you shine at night, and that's your starshine.
I love that. I never thought of that until you brought it up.
All right. So it seems like it's more the heat from the sun than, like the UV that we're told to,
Mm,
use sunscreen and everything to stay away from. So sunscreen does absolutely nothing because it's the heat, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I always tease and say, I'm melting. But it's just like it hurts. So,
All right. So you were on that for a year, and then you were given the all clear.
yeah. Yeah. I definitely, they did the whole, you're done. You're good. You can go. I would see my dermatologist. I still do every 3 months.
Okay.
And I have my UVB light treatment I have at home. So I do that every 3 days. I get in front of the bulbs and treat myself because that's a lifelong thing. Um, but I was going in for 6 months for my PET scans, but now I'm going every year. I just got that call from my oncologist. So that's pretty momentous thing,
Hey, less doctor's appointments is always a good thing.
right?
I know. I always cheer. It's like, oh no, you don't have to see me again, just as long as you're seeing this doctor. And I was like, good, then you won't.
Yeah,
Like, I appreciate you very much, but I really don't want to be in here, every 6 months seeing you.
right. Exactly. Love you. Bye.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So I want to talk a little bit about Epic Experience, because this was a very pivotal experience for you. And I mean, we're not going to go into a lot of detail about the camp specifically, but tell us a little bit about Camp Experience, and then what it was about it that really just kind of, I guess, changed things for you.
Sure. I was I didn't know anybody that had cancer in my community here. and I worked from home, and I kind of didn't really have any friends that uh, well, I learned who my friends were and who weren't able to handle my diagnosis. Same with family. I had some family that really jumped out of the woods that I didn't expect, and then I had some that just kind of didn't know how to show up. And so I was alone, and I was afraid of the sun. The sun was my nemesis, so I really stayed inside. And I found myself slipping into depression, and I didn't have any reason to go outside. And luckily, I had a dog, and my dog pushed me to go outside, but that wasn't enough. And I needed community, and I needed people. My oncologist referred AIM at Melanoma had 5K walks that they had throughout the country. And there was a local oncologist that he admired a lot that put together a 5K in our area. And she turned out to be one of my second opinions for my adverse reactions. So it was kind of like this real tie-in thing. But I did that, and then I just started looking on the internet. It's like, I need something more. And I found Epic, and they had this retreat thing where you go on a camp, and it's like, I'm not going to get picked, but I'm signing up. And I got picked, and I couldn't believe it. But even before then, they had a regional event in my area, and I got picked for that. And it's just like amazing experience because the whole family was there. And you know the company when you get to know the family. They were all just honest, ethical people. Mama Lou was just like her authentic self. She is just a mama to everybody she meets. And she was beautiful, heartfelt, and just, come here, honey, come here. She's going to hate that I said that because she is like, I'm not like that. um, yeah, we did the sailing adventure, and I got to know Fuzzy, or Mark, the dad of the family, and Colin, the brother of the son that the company's kind of founded on, the one that had cancer, Michael. Wonderful person. Train Tracks is his nickname. They're all such great people, and they had a need. They saw that Michael needed some community. He fell into depression, and they built a community to help him and people like him. And here I am, broke, depressed, needing a community. And they just had this formula where they just knew that you needed to let go of your fear, have some fun. Don't worry about everyday life stuff like making your bed, cooking your food, getting the groceries, washing the dishes. I mean, how hard is it to let go of washing the dishes?
Yes, we
Everybody
weren't
struggles with
allowed to be
that,
in the kitchen at all as
right?
campers.
That is like personal. Like, I was so happy to do that for you guys. I'm just like, no, you don't know how bad you need this. This is gonna do it for you. But yeah, it's just they got the formula. They know how to help you let go. And once you let go of those things that you control every day, you let go of the control of your cancer, and you step back and you go, oh my God, this is like what I've been dealing with. And then your walls break down, and you go, I need to let this out. And it's like this safe environment where everybody knows what you're talking about. So you can do the brain fog conversation. You can do the I lost my hair conversation. You can do the I can't feel my skin conversation. I've got tingles in my toes conversation. There's so many things you can talk about. The I'm sad even though I look fine conversation. And it's just such a safe place to open up, and they made the perfect environment, and it's long enough to where you actually can open up. And so Epic is just a gem. and the people are so good, and we're them. Everybody, right?
Yeah,
We're one
absolutely.
of them. Anybody that has cancer is an epic experience person.
And so, what specifically was it about your camp that just kind of flipped that switch and helped you to get out of that, start working on getting out of that depression and fear of the sun and, everything else that was going on in your life?
Well, I think that there were the topics that were presented every day to make me think of something. And it was kind of hokey at first because it's like light mask. What? But it was a conversation starter, to look at myself inside. Pick a nickname for myself. What? Who am I? I have to look at myself in a positive way, my positive attributes. I was nowhere near looking at myself in a positive way at that time in my life. So it was very challenging. But then there's Colin, and he's wingman, right? He
Mhm.
is so silly and he is having so much fun. And I just couldn't stop like laughing and looking at him going, hey, what am I doing standing here not having fun like him? Why can't I do that? Hey, I'm just going to go for it. And once I went for it, it's like I felt so happy and so good. And then it's like, look what I just did. And I realized that I could do stuff. So it was the tapping in and the seeing by example that I could do it too.
That's beautiful. And yes, I was not anywhere near, where you were when you went, but I got a lot of like, look at what I can do and stepping outside of my comfort zone
Mm-hmm.
and doing things that I wouldn't normally do in life and just spending time playing. And I think I shared this at one of our campfire evenings that like Epic Experience brings back the joy of play. I told people before I left, like, where are you going? And I was like, I don't know. I'm going to some summer camp for adults, like up in the mountains. And I came back thinking summer camp is wasted on children because they just don't appreciate it. Like we need summer camp for adults to just go away and play and have fun and to
Exactly.
be able to bring that home, and just incorporate it into daily life, just loving life again. Because cancer is it's just like it weighs you down, and there's just so many things with doctor's appointments and side effects and this and that we just kind of we lose that lightness and that playfulness, and that it helps to bring it back. At least it did for me.
Yeah. And that's why I've done so many regionals in my area because they're little mini day camps from Epic. So it's just bringing a day like I'm doing on July 19th, I'm doing dragon boat paddling. It's a 20-person paddle canoe where we go out just in the San Diego Bay and we just paddle around for an hour.
Oh
And
my gosh, so fun.
yeah, and then we have snacks and we do a little mini campfire and talk with each other. And then we do a sailing trip in Dana Point in August. So they're all over the country too. I know there's a lot in Colorado.
Yes, well, the camps are here, the full week-long camps, and they're doing some regionals here, but there are regionals all over the country, and
Mhm.
they're all on, Epic Experience's website. It's epicexperience.org, and I'll put that in the show notes. And if you're a cancer survivor, like it's all free. You can just apply, show up, and let them take care of you.
Yeah. Oh, they're so fun.
And you are now you loved it so much you're now on the board. Yes.
Yes, I'm trying to help them do this for as many people as possible.
Fabulous. I know because so many people need, I think everybody needs this.
Yes, yes. It's so healing. It is such a wonderful thing.
Absolutely. All right. And then, what else are you like? How has cancer, other than Epic, helped you just to, look at life differently?
Mm.
Um, you know, Tell me one of your silver linings of going through this experience.
Yeah, there's been a lot of silver linings with the people I've met. I tell a lot of people that I've met through my different groups, like the AIM at Melanoma or the Be Well Therapy group, or I have another two, North County Cancer Fitness group, or I have this anti-cancer living group. We have an instant connection through diagnosis. And if you look at our group, we vary in age. I mean, it doesn't matter our age. It doesn't matter what family status we have, what marital status. We are connected by diagnosis and instantly family. And so we would be walking down the street and not necessarily say, hey, we need to hang out with each other because we'll definitely get along. We don't know that until we talk, right? And in our cancer community, we always get along and we always find some sort of thread because of our diagnosis. And that's a silver lining, is that I've learned so much from our diversity, and not just the fact that we are diverse in the all those different facets, but like location. I have so many people in this nation that I'm connected to through Epic. I mean, Kentucky, Maine, you're in Colorado, we've got Texans, we've got all kinds of people all over this country, and we talk on Zoom. And that's like, who would have thought my closest friends would have been like in Nevada, or, you know? So that's the silver lining, is just having such diversity and being able to learn so much from all these different people.
And it's really nice because we've all gone through it. And like you said, like our diagnosis connects us immediately. And I think sometimes, at least I do, I feel like I don't want to burden people with my story and, people that haven't gone through it. But with people who have gone through a similar experience, you don't feel that burden. Like it's just so easy to be able to share what you're going through, because chances are other people have gone through, if not the same thing, at least something similar, whether it's physically, emotionally, spiritually, any of that. And it's a total connecting point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, so as we said, you, by the time this airs, you'll have passed your 3-year cancerversary. And I want you to share the story that you started to share with me about your cancerversary, because it sounds beautiful.
Yes. So I was at camp with you when my diagnosis day came. It was June 14th. And I just realized a few days back that it came and went. And it was just like, oh my goodness, where was I? What was I doing? That I was at camp, and that would have been the perfect place to celebrate my cancerversary, is with all of you guys, to let you know and say, look, this is the day that I heard those horrible words, you have cancer. And I didn't even remember. What does that mean? I'm 3 years out and I didn't even remember. Is it not significant to me anymore? And
Maybe we're just having too much fun.
right? I was, for sure. But I've been, so hung up on my cancer. And I've just been, it's my life. It's my everyday. It doesn't go by where I'm not thinking about it. And so I've just been reeling through my mind like, well, I'm going to have to celebrate. I'm going to have to make a special dinner or a special something, because this is important. And it's like, is it important? And I'm just like on this teetering thing. And I have a vineyard, and we have to put bird nets on the vineyard because we have to protect our grapes from the wildlife from eating them. So then we get to have the grapes to make wine with. And turns out we had tried these new nets, and we covered the tops of them. And we used to just cover each row instead, but now we covered the whole top. And we ended up catching a hawk. And we have a cat that was really excited about it, and his best figure out what to do with a hawk. And this was a red-tailed hawk, and so its wingspan was probably 2.5, 3 feet wide, right?
Wow.
Figure the amount of times I tell my story. but
Started it was 8 inches. Now it's 3 feet.
but I tell you, when I saw the hawk tangled up in the net, I didn't panic. I ran over. I grabbed a towel and I ran over to it and I grabbed it and I picked it up from its back, and I just knew that I needed to save it. Of course, it was my fault, but I wasn't afraid, and I knew what to do. I just grabbed it. I put the towel on his head so he couldn't see me, because they do this thing with their head and they can turn it all the way around. And he's looking at me, and I was staring him in his eyes, and it was just like, it's going to be okay, buddy. I got you. And I just covered his head. And then my husband came with gloves because he had time to think about it. And I just reacted. He had gloves and he had the scissors, and he was cutting away the net from the hawk. And we got all the net cut off. And I set the hawk down and he flew away. And he was completely free, and he was able to fly, and it was okay. Everything was okay. And I'm just thinking about the symbolism of that moment. It's like I had his heart beating in my palm, and it was just like I was calm. I was not afraid. And we cut him away. And I'm looking around thinking about my life and this cancer. And I sit in this space every day. I work at home, and I have right next to me in this mailbox thing, I have my will and I have my advance directive. I've had it there since my diagnosis, and it's ready for my family. It's easily accessible. And I'm thinking, no, I don't need that anymore. So I cut the strings, I cut the net off, and I put it in my filing cabinet because I don't need it easily available for my family on the top of my desk anymore. So that's my little 3-year cancerversary celebration for myself.
Wow. Oh, I have goosebumps.
Yeah,
That
me
is
too.
a beautiful story. Oh my gosh, I love that. And
Yeah,
the hawk is safe.
the hawk
You
is,
have a hole in your net, but the hawk is safe.
yeah, the net's gone. We got rid of it. We're going back to our other style. We're like, we never caught a hawk that way, so we're just like, not the way we want to have happen. So
I love that. I hope someday to get to the point where I don't automatically remember, my diagnosis day and all of that. I don't know if it'll happen by next year, but I'm one of those people. I'm really, really good with dates and numbers. Like sometimes to my detriment, there are things that I wish that I didn't remember.
yeah.
The actual dates and stuff, but I don't know, there's something in my brain that likes to think about those things all the time. I don't know.
Oh man, yeah. And who knows, next year might be totally different for me.
But at least this year you didn't have to think about it and dwell on it, because we were probably horseback riding or something that day.
Yeah, exactly. We were out there just l- letting ourselves go, pushing our limits, having fun.
Yes. Yes. And I
Even
don't know, my horse's name was Taz. I wasn't quite sure about that.
I know. I saw you like turning around at one point. It's like,
Oh, he just wanted to go where he wanted to go and make sure everybody else was falling in line. And I just kind of went along for the ride. Like, okay, you go where you need to go.
that was so fun.
That was fun. All right. Well, Janna, I asked this of all of my guests. So, if you came across somebody who was just diagnosed or just in the throes of overwhelm from a diagnosis and not really knowing where to turn, like what's one piece of advice that you would give to that person to just kind of help calm them down or help them to get through a little bit of the overwhelm of a diagnosis?
There's a lot of things that come to mind. There's a lot of things that you can tell somebody, but one of my saving graces that I went back and did for myself, and if I did it the first time, I would have been good. I kept a journal um, throughout my diagnoses, and it was a medical journal. It was stats, it was appointments, it was blood work, it was side effects. And then I hit a depression and I hit a mental breakdown. And then I realized I never processed what just happened to me. And I had to go back and I had to say, that scared me. That was so hard. It hurt me. And so I think if I was on a daily basis in my journal saying, I really don't want to go to surgery on my son's birthday. It's going to be very sad for everybody if I don't make it. You know, if I said how I really felt while I was doing that and not pretending to be strong, oh no, it's going to be fine. We're going to get through this. If I emoted everything at the same time as my documentation, I think it would have been a really healing, good idea. So I always tell everybody, keep a journal and put both in there.
I love that. I did not do that either. And maybe I should have. I had, what's my mantra of the day? Like, what's my intention for the day? What am I grateful for? But it was all positive stuff, even going like, what did I eat today? Did I have enough to drink today? Did I take my supplements and stuff? But there wasn't a lot of real emotion in there. It was still kind of, stats. What am I grateful for? Like that's something that I do every day. Like I have a grateful tattoo and everything. But I wish I had because I was one of those, like, it's all going to be fine. Everything's going to be great. We're going to be fine. I'm going to be fine. This isn't going to beat me. And boom. And I mean, it helped me get through. I think it really helped my daughter too. She told me later on that, well, yeah, I was really scared, but you had it all down and you were so positive and like, it's all going to be fine, that helped me not be quite so scared. But I think I decided not to feel a lot of what I should have been feeling because I was just like, let's just get it done, get it over with and go on with life. And now, 2 years later, there's still stuff that I'm processing.
Yeah. 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 It's
So
kind
feel
of
the suck, right?
like all the suck. Yes. Definitely. Or else it'll catch up and make you feel it later.
Well, and I interviewed somebody else and I love what she said. She said, there are bad moments and then there's a bad life. And don't let the bad moments turn into a bad life.
Yeah.
Because it's a great life that
Why?
can have crappy, for lack of a R-rated word, moments.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that. Well, thank you so much for spending time with me today, Janna, and sharing your story. It's so great to see your face
Like,
again. And, I'm sad that you're all the way out in California, but we will maybe have to plan a trip out there to come
oh
and say
yeah.
hi.
And I'll be out there in February for the gala. So
Oh, yes. I'm gonna hopefully be at the gala too. So,
better be.
okay. Yes.
All
I
right.
know I didn't go this year because I wasn't part of the family yet. So I will definitely go next year.
Yay. Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Of course. And have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you. You
All
too.
right. Bye-bye.